You're back with your girls, Meesa and Meah from You Already Know. It's M&M Live Radio. And listen, as you all know, it's February here on the show, okay? That means that we have a new male guest each week all month long. And we have our final February guest on the airwaves with us right here, right now.
Yes, sir. That's right, Meesa. This award-winning producer is no stranger to the music game, as he's worked with some of your favorite artists that are on your playlist now. With the heights he's taken in his career and all the accolades, he still has a passion to push the music culture forward to impact the world. That's right. We don't want to welcome Ace Harris to the show. How's it going, Ace?
What up, Meesa Meah, M&M Live Radio. We in the building. Thank you guys for having me. Excited to kind of jump into it.
Listen, we were saying off the air how long overdue this was. Ace has always shown us so much support and in person, on the gram, on just so much love. So we were just like, it only makes sense that we have you on the show. But bro, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us here on M&M Live Radio. But listen, y'all, so Ace is no rookie. All right, he's no rookie to this music thing, y'all. Along with, producing for a lot of your favorite artists in CHH. Ace has also produced for artists like Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, T.I. Just released a song with Earth Gang and Future. Like, the resume is long.
Extensive.
It's extensive. But, I want to start at the beginning. So talk a little bit about your start in music and producing the whole nine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a preacher's kid, grew up in the church, so short story, I just grew up playing drums and was really intrigued by production. When I was like in ninth grade, I remember hearing this Jay-Z song produced by my favorite producer, Timbaland, and I remember dissecting this beat. And I was like, I think this is what I want to do. And I just kind of pursued it passionately. And a cousin of mine's boyfriend, now husband at the time, gave me his like MIDI keyboard, which is like $1,000 back then. And he kind of allowed me to produce, and I just started producing, making beats in high school, and kind of pursued that all the way through college and through internships, ups and downs, pushing my beats, trying to get into music game. I kind of just pursued it until I got to it.
Yeah, man, that's dope. So I have to also make mention of this. Okay, we already know you ATL raised, you are Liberian made, and I know how important it is for producers to literally add their own flair, add their seasoning to, whatever music that they put their hands to. But by you being and having so much Liberian culture that's rich, that pumps through your veins, how important is it for you to incorporate the Afrobeats into your music?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's just a part of who I am. I grew up a first generation American. My parents are Liberian immigrants. My dad is a preacher. My whole family, a big chunk of my family from Liberia is in Atlanta. So and my dad founded a church in 1987 for displaced immigrants during the Liberian Civil War, which was a safe haven for Liberians. And him being a minister, our church was pretty much obviously an international church, but mostly Liberian. And that culture just kind of influenced me. And so, growing up playing drums, the conga drums, the African rhythms, the syncopation, it wasn't even something I thought about. It was just so natural and innate to me. So as I got older, maybe in high school and college, I kind of, not that I shied away from it, I just didn't really embrace it where I should have. And, growing up as I got older, I was like, this is like a superpower of mine, right? Being distinctly, not just African-American, but literally like African, like Liberian and repping that culture. So I just think that the African sound, the rhythm, the syncopation is kind of the bedrock for a lot of production in hip hop. And those roots, that rhythm comes from Africa. So I've always been inspired to kind of figure out how to infuse that into my production. And I think a record I did, which I'm so grateful for, shout out God, a record I did with Coffee, even though she's Caribbean from Jamaica, which is African descent. That record was like, wow, I got to really display my heritage, my production chops, fully me on a record. And the cool thing about that record was it was still genuine, right? It wasn't necessarily an explicitly Christian record, but it was like inspirational, uplifting. So that's like a sweet spot for me, like heritage and faith in one. I'm a happy guy, you know what I'm saying?
And it is so dope. Yeah. It's so dope because and of course by us, being in the CHH culture, the fact that you're able to embrace your heritage and just put your Liberian culture into the music, I get so excited because I feel like Meah and I, because we're familiar with your work and we hear that Dalasano,
right,
we
just let's go.
Excited. We just get so excited because it's like Ace is about to snap on this
Facts.
project right here, right now. So, I so appreciate you being a proud Liberian that's willing to, put some of your culture and your heritage and share that with us. A lot of Americans and a lot of people who aren't familiar with your culture, but just like make that part of the CHH culture and just marry the two together. So you mentioned so much, and Meah also mentioned earlier at the beginning of the interview that, you have just produced some of the most groundbreaking, record-making music out there that all of us have just grown to love and just literally make our favorites, because I mean, like, you just have invested so much into the music culture. But let's talk about this Grammy, bro. We got to talk about it because you're now known as a Grammy Award winning producer.
That's a heavy title.
Yeah, that's a heavy title. So take us to the moment that you won the Grammy. Like, what was going through your mind? Take us there.
Yeah, shout out, y'all. It was obviously I produced a song for Coffee Rapture. How I even got to her. So I'm a very collaborative person. I believe in the greatest creativity is kind of birthed in community, and you got to share resources. So a producer homie of mine, Soup, shout out Soup, he had a plug to send some beats to some rising Caribbean star, and I just sent him a pack of beats. I made that beat in like 2017. It was just sitting for 2 years, and sent him that beat, and he somehow got it to a Coffee, and I didn't really know much about her. She was kind of new. And then when the song dropped in March 2019, I knew it was coming out, paperwork was done. Everybody like just blowing me up, especially my Caribbean contacts, my Caribbean music industry contacts, and people that, know who she is. And the song Toast was taken off, and it was like, yo, you got the title track, Rapture. And I was like, great. And she like kept my tag on the beat and like cranked up the volume on it too. Sometimes people turn the volume down, which I get it from an aesthetic standpoint musically. She turned that thing up, maybe because it kind of lifted the song. But anyway, fast forward, the song's doing well. I was able to meet her on tour. Genuine person. Really love her. She's really sweet. And then I got the Grammy nomination notice. I was like, oh, this is kind of dope. And I happened to be in LA for the Grammy week, which I didn't go to the Grammys, but we were doing other business with Lecrae. I was kind of, doing my A&R thing with him. We were at it was in LA, and it was actually kind of a sad day because it was Sunday. Grammys were Sunday. I was at church with Lecrae. I think the Rock Nation brunch the day before in LA. Just again, Lecrae is the reason why we're at the Rock Nation brunch, not because of me. he's a celebrity, but we in LA, just doing our rounds, doing some sessions. But that Sunday we went to church. Shout out to Fellowship Monrovia, Pastor Albert Tate, great ministry over there, and we're in service, and we get the news that Kobe passed while we're in church. And so it was like a sad day, right? So
wow.
An hour after church, I get a text that Coffee won the Grammy for Best Reggae Album. But it was like a mixed emotion. It was kind of like, honestly, my heart was like, great, thankful, appreciative. This is awesome. This is what you dream of as a kid. But being a Kobe fan, and it was just kind of not the day to celebrate what I had going on. So I said that to say that it was a W. It was great, but on the day of, I had mixed emotions. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and I think we
sorry to bring the mood so down.
No, but that's real. That's real because even though Kobe is a basketball player, his work ethic and his grind and his morals were something that inspired a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that that I'm glad that you were honest about that, because that day was heavy for a lot of different people who were basketball lovers and people who even just admired the way how he moved and how he grinded. So you being honest about that is very honest and genuine. I'm glad that you shared that. Now, like you already spoke on this earlier, but most people know that Ace is the head of A&R at Reach Records, home of artists like Lecrae, Andy Mineo, played a part in artists like What Up RG and Wande and Hovey being added to the label, and even being behind the scenes of creations of a lot of people's favorite songs and projects, and playing a part in the Gift Christmas album and the annual summer playlist that everybody looks forward to every single year. Since joining the Reach staff, how has it been playing a part in pushing the music movement forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I genuinely, sincerely love what I do, right? I love, because being an A&R kind of encompasses two of my skill sets. Like I'm fully creative, so I rock with my creative people, even my super creative people, like my What Up RGs and my Andys. But at the same time, I'm also fully business. So me and Lecrae, we go there and really build some rapport. So it's been great. I feel like I have a passion for seeing like dope music made by Christians that can impact culture, so that the next wave of young believers or people who may come to find out a way to express their faith through this great gift of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And through this great gift for culture, because I feel like the expressions of Christianity need to be more diverse, need to be more, wide ranging, and not so limited to one type of expression. And I think Reach is a great place where we get to do that daily. And it's also thinking about, all right, well, as hip hop is a mature genre, right? Hip hop is 50 years old now.
Yeah.
So it's an old head in theory. So it's me being mindful of how has the genre evolved and been able to impact younger people, and how sometimes the people from the older era, I'm 37, they kind of look at the newer wave of hip hop and kind of like side eye it. But I'm like, nah, the genre, the intent is still the same. It's just evolving. So you can't tell me artists like Lil Baby ain't got lyrics, or Hovey ain't got lyrics. It's just a different cadence. So I feel inspired to like provide a expression of hip hop that's unashamed, to give younger listeners and younger people an opportunity to know God in a way that they couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So that keeps me going, and I just love it here for doing that day by day.
Yeah, that's good. And we can see it, like, even when we see you at, various different events, you always just have such a positive light to you, and it extends into the music. So we even appreciate you there. But I wanted to switch gears really quick, and I know that it's a sensitive topic, but I do want to hear from you briefly, Ace. But we all know about the situation that occurred with former label mate Gavi, and that resulted in him being removed from the Reach Records roster. But with having so much going on with, tour coming up, and, seeing the comments from the fans and reading the blogs, how has the Reach family been able to progress moving forward through it all?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we just been progressing through prayer and just centering our values, which is founded in Christ, and also just helping out as best as we can the people affected through the situations, even behind the scenes, just doing a job of stewarding the relationships that are affected by what was happened, and also just continuing to stand on what our mission is and helping people see the world differently through Jesus, but also being intentional about making sure we're held accountable to that from a staff, from an artist standpoint, and just making sure that when we put 116 on these t-shirts, when we screaming on these songs, when we go at the tours, we want to do our best, right? We're still flawed people, but do our best to carry that banner and wave it proudly, steward it wisely, and preach it like unapologetically. You know what I'm saying? I think you do that by just making sure that everybody that you come in contact with, whether artists, staff, partners, vendors, are aware that, hey, we want to be unashamed about Jesus, and that unashamed isn't a self of a point of righteousness, but it's an unapologetic admission of our imperfection. So our need to like hold that is like, hey, we're unashamed to say that we ain't got it all together. So that's why we're leaning on Jesus. So let's come be a part of that. Let's embrace that. Let's try to flesh that out. Obviously, there's going to be tension, there's going to be stumbles, there's going to be things that we don't do right, but overall we want to commit to that, live that out, and express that through the art that we put out into the world.
Man, so well said, and thank you so much for just speaking to that, because I know there's some that would choose to shy away from having that conversation, so I really appreciate you speaking on that. But Ace Harris, like, he is the man, the myth, the legend. He's the producer. He is the A&R at Reach Records. So, but speaking about A&R, I want to touch on that really quick. So I enjoy seeing your content on Instagram, especially with the A&R corner. I think that is so dope. Really, really creative. Because, I mean, a lot of times, us as the listeners, us as the fans and the audience, we don't have an opportunity of getting to know what happens behind the mic, in the booth, the creative process, and I'm so into something like that. So tell us the reason why you decided to start that. Like, why did you want for us to see more of what happens behind the music?
Right. I appreciate y'all. Shout out my good friend, one of my best friends, producers, Sock Passe. He produced the Coming in Hot record, Believer, super dope producer. And he had a good note for me. He was like, "Yo, Ace, I see you doing these How I Made the Beat videos, which are cool. I was doing those like early on, which every producer aspires to like tell y'all like, yo, here's when I added the snare, here's where I added the reverb, and it's like it gets really heady and a little technical and dare I say nerdy, like producer nerdy. And that is a pocket for some people that want to see that content. I kind of nerd out on that stuff, but I also got to I think by those videos I didn't get to embrace like honestly production is a part of me, but it's not all of me. I'm a A&R, as in I don't have to produce everything. In fact, a lot of times I don't have the time to really produce anyway. So it's more about facilitating the creativity with other creators. And I felt like for young or aspiring creatives in music, I think it'd be good for them to kind of see other ways in which you can use your creative gifts, not limited to just making beats, singing, rapping. Like you can assemble the greats in those fields and like use your gifts to like kind of A&R, right? So I feel like the A&R Corner videos is less really about what I'm doing, but more about showing a pathway of what's possible in the creative community. And so I think that, because I felt like me seeing Timbaland videos from the Black Album and Jay-Z, like seeing that reference point was like, wow, that's how you can do this. And I think hopefully this will plant a seed for others to kind of see that they can just be more than just a producer or more than just a musician, in this space.
No, I love that, Ace. I love seeing stuff like that. Like, I don't know nothing about producing, but every time I watch the A&R Corner, I'm like, oh, what's he going to do next? Oh, it's the 808s. What's next? Oh, it's the snare. Oh, my God. Like, I'm so into it and thinking that I could even do something like that. I know I can, but it's like Meesa was saying, it's so great seeing that because we don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to always hear from the artist. Like, we do that all the time, like, with interviews and things like that. But, like, and seeing how, like, how they wrote the song, things like that. But I know we love seeing things even from a producer standpoint. So we love watching those videos. And even you saying, being able to show up and coming creatives, like, you can pivot also from writing, lyrics and making, instrumentals. You can also A&R it. So I love that you're able to take us more into your world and even drop some gems when it comes to the A&R Corner. But listen, y'all, your girls M&M are hanging out with Ace Harris, man. He is our final February guest here on M&M Live Radio. Now, listen, I know there are a lot of talented artists in the CHH genre. It's like, honestly, I feel like every day I'm discovering someone more and more along, like, with Reach, but also even outside of Reach. So, Ace, with you being in A&R, I'm curious to who are some up-and-coming talent in the CHH realm that you enjoy listening to?
Yeah, I shout out the Christian hip-hop community. A lot of great talent. Like, if you, and I want to encourage, I say that to say, let's encourage each other to share the talent. Again, it's not just about Reach Records. It's about a community of believers banding together, making dope music for the kingdom, but like, share that music. Share with your people. Don't be scared. Don't just ride a Christian hip hop in your car by yourself. Put your non-Christian friends in the car and turn that thing up. Put them on like that. That's how the message spreads. I'm sending records to like a lot of my industry execs. I was in the studio the other day playing some of What Up RG's New Hollywood for A&R at Epic Records, like a VP over there. He was like, yo, because I feel an intention to like share the music, to spread the message so that more opportunities for discovery can be found outside of just our space. So with that said, there's a lot of people that I love that are just doing amazing. Like I love what Caleb Gordon is doing. I love what Mike Teasy's doing. Love what Portia Love's doing. I love what Gabby Caldwell's doing. Vert Mob, that was my dude. Breeze, Scooty, Indie Tribe. The list goes on. Bats, love that guy. He's killing. I can just keep going on and on. I feel like I'll just, there's so many dope talents that, that we love, and we just want to, like, obviously the elephant in the room, we can't sign everybody. It's just, we don't have the capacity, but it's me using my platform to empower people, even if it's not like an actual long-term partnership. And I think there's artists that have been on the playlist, come through our building, work with us, that have benefited just from us saying, hey, you know what, we need to steward this platform in a way that lifts up not just the Reach Records artists, but other artists, other creators in the community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that, Ace. I feel you can definitely even sense that when you guys release projects like, the summer playlist. I love the fact that you guys have the opportunity to show a mass audience of more artists that are out there. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that's beautiful. The fact that in some artists, they think that, no one's seeing my music or whatever, but like, no, like there are people like, Ace Harris, people like, in the Reach offices, people in like, different labels, even you going to Epic and being able to show them RG's new stuff, going on. I think it's great the fact that we can expose everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody is so talented, and the fact that you have your eyes so open and you're so plugged into the scene, that says a lot about even the position that you play in music.
Ace said, pass the aux.
Like he's like, listen, man, he's gonna pass it. He's gonna let everybody know what's going on in the scene, and I love that. I do that with my friends as well. But listen, y'all, Ace is a very, very busy man, and even with him being busy, he's added yet another endeavor under his belt. So tell us about Caranda Creative and what inspires you to launch this collective.
Right. So Caranda Creative is pretty much a creative agency, production house, management company, publishing arm. It just houses all my creative endeavors that I'm kind of doing anyway, but it was just a way to kind of organize and facilitate it. As I've grown, I have been, more than just a producer. So it's like, how do I develop talent outside of just the Reach Records or Christian hip hop space, and use my platform to build those creative careers in ways that can like really impact and really do dope things in the music scene. So essentially it's a production and management house where I source different creatives and put them in different rooms and develop their careers in a way that makes sense for me and them as well. Because I generally have a heart for people who, even if you are Christian, but you're not limited to the Christian hip hop space or Christian music space, I feel like, we can use those gifts to facilitate other things. Some may disagree, some may have their opinion, but I feel led to be like, look, man, my gifts are not limited to this space, because, me being in the room in certain spaces is a benefit. It's an impact. It's an influential opportunity for me to be that light. You know what I mean? So Caranda Creative was created to kind of be that business arm that houses that. Carvello is one of my clients. DJ Tag's one of my clients, and keeping it kind of tight for now. I don't want to take on too many clients, but we're just kind of building it slowly, daily, and then I think it's going to be already off to a really, really good year. So just building it slowly and seeing what happens.
Man, that's a powerhouse within
If
itself.
there's one thing I can say about Ace, is that Ace has an eye for talent, y'all. Like he genuinely does, along with like playing a part in Wande, RG, Hovey being signed. Like Carvello is one of my favorite producers, and like it's like along with you, even DJ Tag as well. So like one thing I will say about Ace is that Ace has a great eye for that, and the fact that with Caranda Creative you're going to be able to house all of that is going to be. I'm excited to see what you guys do, honestly.
And I mean, not only that, Mia, but like the passion that we can see through Ace is just so evident.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's super, super obvious. And from the launch of Caranda Creative, your production credits, the list goes on. The artists you work with, the projects that you put your hands to, I just want to know, what's the imprint? Like, what mark do you want to leave on music?
Oh, that's a great question. Let me reflect. More importantly, my filter is through my faith, and even when I'm around people who don't have a sense of faith, I can't help it. It comes out of me because that's what's in me, right? So I just want to influence people to look at the world differently, so that when they come across me or my music, even if my music isn't, a certain type of music, it's more about my presence in those rooms, my interaction with those people. I want them to get a glimpse of the kingdom.
Yeah.
So that they leave feeling like, man, this experience was, unique and different to the experiences I've had when I work with people in the music business. I want to leave people, in a way where like my legacy says, I walk with integrity. I lift people up. I honor people. I do good business. And I try to fight for that day in and day out. I think, and also, I also want to lift up culture, right? I want to make sure that people, especially black people specifically, can have a way to like a reference point on how to use their gifts, use their platform, and engage the entertainment business in a healthy way, and not feel like you have to be one type of mode to be successful, right? You can love one woman, you can walk with integrity, you can do fair business, you can love God, and I think those are the things I want. Especially, I speak to a very exclusive group, not trying to isolate my others, but specifically my Black men, right? I want to call us up to be leaders in our spaces and show them a different way to do music and entertainment,
man,
without compromising who they really are. So
yeah,
that's the kind of legacy I want to leave in a kind of a, kind of a trail I kind of want to blaze in this space, and hopefully that inspires. If not, because people always say I want to change the world, I want to do big things. You know what? Who's the person who inspired MLK? Shout out Donda West. It's literally about leaving a mark on just that one person, because that multiplier effect could take root and that can impact bigger. So it's like, don't put the pressure of trying to change the world on your shoulders. That's God's job. Our job is to steward what he gives us and impact the ones who can really touch and see. And then from there, he'll do the multiplication. And that's kind of how we impact,
Wow.
That's real. That's
so powerful. And when I tell you, like, you have impacted us, and I know so many people around the world, and it goes beyond music. Mm-hmm. So I just appreciate, what you bring to the culture, what you bring to just life in general, because, you truly have made such an impact, Ace. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be on this week's show. But before you go, give everybody your social media site so that they can stay connected with you.
Shout out, y'all. My handle is Ace Harris Music. That's my Instagram. Pretty much everything, Instagram, Twitter. I think you can find me like that on LinkedIn, wherever. And then my production company, Caranda Creative. That's Caranda Creative. You can find that on Instagram. And shout out y'all. Y'all been saying shout out me. Nah, let's like take that spotlight and shine it right back on y'all, because y'all really carry yourself really well. Do a great job. It's two amazing Black women in this space that's unashamed about y'all's culture, and but honoring the Lord with it makes me smile. So y'all killing it. We're officially big bro, little sis vibes.
Yes.
We're officially. You gonna make me cry. You gonna make me cry thugs here, Ace. It almost came down on the air. Don't make me do that.
That means so much.
I know y'all, but listen, make sure you guys are following.
If y'all share one, I share one too.
All right. Okay. It's family. It's only right. Make sure you guys are following Ace and Caranda Creative on all social media platforms.
Yeah, and then once again, Ace, thank you for hanging out with us on this week's show. Just know that you always have our support. Okay.
For sure. Y'all be easy, and
absolutely.
To keep working with y'all.
Absolutely, Ace. Now, to everybody out there, it's only right, Meah. I mean, like, it's only right for us to go ahead and play a song by our February guest right here, right now.
That's right. So here it is. Here's Rapture by Coffee, produced by the one and only Ace Harris. Listen, turn this one all the way up, and we'll be right back. You're listening to You Already Know.
It's M&M Live Radio.